All right, let's try that again. It shut off on me again. I hate this phone. I should have grabbed the other one. Um, this is my Motorola G6, whatever. Um, so I'm working on the compressor. Oh, let's try that again. Good afternoon, Bumble Jeepers. It's been a while. Um, this is take 2, by the way. Um, I'm good. How you doing? Um, Not working on the Jeep today. That's going to be a while. Um, the weather here is pretty bad. I'll try and take you downstairs and um, show you outside what we got for snow. We're in Berks County, Pennsylvania, and we got a lot of snow over the last couple of weeks. So yesterday I spent the morning plowing as the snow was coming down to a stop. So today I'm working on our compressor. It's a 10 horse, 2-stage Atlas Copco. You can see working on the head gasket. Well, that's the head there. Over there on top of the compressor tank is the intermediate plate. It has all the valves in it. And then this is your cylinder here. And I got a light up here and it's being a pain in the butt. So I'll try not to touch any buttons, but you can see I got some dirt on the top. Trying to get that all cleaned off before I put it back together. You might have noticed I'm still using a cell phone camera. Just checking to make sure it's still working because it shut off on me once before. And you can see that's pretty clean in there now. Got some dirt down in there. I scraped it off with a utility blade and then scuffed it up pretty good with a Scotch-Brite pad to get the rest of the material off. Still recording. And that's pretty clean down there. So, I don't know how good this is going to go. Got a little dust in there. I don't think it'll hurt anything. It's an air compressor. It's not a 1500 horsepower racing engine. So they wanted to replace this compressor, junk it. I found a place that could get me this gasket set for around $68. They ordered the wrong one in the first time. We went up and picked it up. It was the wrong one, so they ordered the right one in. The one they ordered in was $50, so we got this one for $50. So getting ready to put this back together. I've got my tools up here. Got my drop light up there hanging from the ceiling. I'm up in the mezzanine, which is where this compressor is located. So I'm going to try and pause this without shutting the camera off, and I'll get back to you when I get the gaskets opened up and start to put this back together. And I should have brought them out with me, but I don't. You may notice I'm still using the cell phone. I haven't started using any of those 5 action cams I bought. Batteries are all charged up. I have tripods for 3 of them. All kinds of mounts. I got mounts out the wazoo. So anyhow, it's going to be a while before I can get to do some work on the Bumble Jeep. I got some news on that. I'll try and bring you up to date before I end this video out and show you where I'm at on that. So gonna start putting this back together. I'll be right back. Don't go away. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So got the head on. The intermediate plate, the head, it was a little tricky. You can see the new gasket in there. Just making sure you didn't shut off. So I got this to put back up on. And then there's another piece here. Oh, the air filter over there. And then this is a recirculating loop for the 2-stage. Comes out this one and goes in this one, and or vice versa. So I'm gonna get online now I gotta keep ducking because, as you can see, I'll whack my head if I don't. Low overhead clearance here in the mezzanine. So don't mind me, I'm going to watch where I'm putting my feet. I don't need to fall down steps at my age. So, as I was saying, no Project Bumble Jeep right now. Weather's too bad. I'll take you outside and show you. What I plan on doing is it's going in the paint booth, and I'm going to blow it apart so I can do all 4 doors inside and out. All the guts are coming out of the doors, handles, locks, the whole 9 yards. The door shells are getting completely painted inside and out. And of course I have the jambs to finish painting. I partially did them when I did the rear quarters. You can see an earlier video on that. So let me show you what we got outside. So when that goes in there, it's not coming out till it's done, till I'm all done. But drum roll, I think I'm changing the color. It's still going to be yellow, but what I'm trying to do, I've never seen it. I've never seen a metallic yellow. I've seen a pearl yellow, but I've never seen a metallic yellow. So I tried, I'll show you, mixing up Rust-Oleum silver metallic with Rust-Oleum safety yellow, and I'll show you what I got. I just gotta not press buttons. So this is what I got right here. I repainted this bezel. This bezel was the same color as the fender, which is not the right color, and I'm not sure how this is going to show up on camera. But it looks more green to me and to everybody else that looks at it, so I'm not in love with it, but I'm not super happy either. So I ordered some metal flake from Rust-Oleum, believe it or not, and I'm going to try and just mix the metal flake in with a quart of that safety yellow, not all of it of course, and see how that comes out. And then I may, just for spits and grins, respray the other tailgate that I took off, because that'll give me, you know, a nice big area to see it. You don't really get an idea or a feel for a color on a spray out card. It's good for color matching, but not necessarily for, yeah, see, this is what we got for snow here. So the reason that I can't do the Jeep right now is I need something else to drive. So, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do this all legal beagle, or if I'm going to just throw my plate on it from the Jeep and drive it, because the Jeep hasn't been inspected since last May. I still don't have it inspected. I may get it inspected before I throw it in for paint. But this is my other car. We're going to, I don't know if I've ever showed this on camera. It's kind of buried in the snow here. It's this silver PT Cruiser here. I quit driving that because I wanted a Jeep. There was nothing really wrong with it except the inspection had expired, and it needs, the power steering doesn't work, so I'm not sure if it needs a rack or a pump. Gonna get that sorted out. And then there's 2 little spots on the uniframe on that where it comes up around the firewall into the, from the firewall down under to the floors, the kick panel or the kick boards, and those need a little patching. It's not structural at this point, or at least the last time I drove it. It still rides solid as a rock. There's no shifting, the doors don't open and close funny, anything like that. So weld some patches on there and pretty it all up, and then I may temporarily, and this is what I'm talking about, legal, not legal, I may temporarily transfer the registration from the Bumble Jeep over to the PT, just so I can drive it legal and get it inspected. And then when I get this all done, get the good old Bumble Jeep all done, then I'll put that up for sale, because it'll have a current inspection on, and as we all know, in Pennsylvania, any car with a current inspection is worth at least $1,500. So that's the plan. I got plenty of other stuff around here that I could record for the channel, but it's not Bumble Jeep, and I kind of feel bad. So if you have any thoughts on that, I'm open to suggestion. I don't have a problem you know, recording other work I'm doing. Right now I have this Chrysler 200 that needs a tie rod end and an inner fender on this side. She popped the axle on this one and just continued to drive it, and it kind of ripped out the fender, and I had to put all that back together. Somebody else did the axle, but it was making a noise, and they had me take it for a test drive. It turns out when it wheel kind of spun around sideways, it shredded or pretty much mangled up the inner liner, and it was rubbing on the wheel when you turn to the left, to the right, whatever, when you turn. So anyhow, I don't know why I'm going over here. I just have to switch hands here. I guess I can't. So if you don't mind seeing some other work around the shop, this is another project here. I'm making a new door for this box truck. Here's all the material, and I'm struggling right now trying to figure out how to sorry about all the shaky, trying to figure out how to get the edges to match. It's a whiting door, and they do it looks sort of like that on one end, and then yeah, thought I had company. Then the other side is a V groove, kind of like that, and they interlock. It's their way of weather sealing. I wasn't really happy when I found out, and I called Whiting and I said something to him about it when I was ordering a hardware kit for it. When they paint these doors, they're completely assembled, ready to go on the truck. They don't paint any edges. They don't paint the tongue and groove on the top and bottom of the door. It is, as I said, completely assembled with all the hinges and rollers and everything on it, and then they just shoot it white. Here's one of the old panels here, and you can see, I think that's a cut I made. But you can see here, that groove is not painted. That edge is not painted. And so, granted, this truck is a 97, I think. Or it's a 97 or a 2001. We have two, one's a GMC, one's a Chevy. This is the GMC, it's a diesel, the other one's a gas. But, so I bought one of these, and I'm struggling, and I bought a set of router bits, 24 router bits, and I'm trying to figure out, between all the bits that came with that set, how to recreate that tongue and groove on that door. So that's another project. This one here is a car that was painted about 2 years ago. It needs wet sanded and buffed. The clear didn't come out right on it. And then back there is an Alice Chalmers tractor that needs finished reassembly. They both belong to the gentleman that teaches the class here in the shop that I assist on Monday and Wednesdays with the class. Oh, and I have another job. So all you Jeepers out there should recognize this. This is a junkyard find. It was donated to the young man. He has a 99 Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, and it's got a pretty loud knock in it. Not sure what the knock is because it doesn't, it's got good oil pressure. So not sure what the knock is. I think it's either timing chain or I don't know what else it could be. It's not lifters. I mean, it runs smooth. It's not down on power, so it's not a rod or a main bearing that's knocking. So I'm planning on autopsying that engine, but this is the one that's getting swapped into it at some point in the future. But like I said, the Pummel Jeep itself, I'm not going to be doing anything significant on that. That's not true. I kept watching XJ videos, and a lot of guys were having problems with vapor lock, overheating. My Jeep has never run hot. It's got 210,000 miles on it now. It's never run hot since I've owned it. I've put about 10,000 miles on it since I have it. I got it in January 18. and I've never had it vapor lock or be hard starting. You hit the key and that thing's running. So I don't know if that means the compression is really low or if it's just a good strong engine yet. It runs fine. It's smooth. It's got a little bit of like lifter tap in it, but it's done that for the last 10,000 miles that I've owned it, and probably before. So I'm not overly concerned with that. But anyhow, I ended up buying the heat shield for this style intake. It's a wrap for the fuel rail and a wrap for the injectors. It was like 25 bucks on Amazon. Why not, right? I am going to be doing at least the rear locker in the next month or so. And I'm not sure which one I'm going with. I'm thinking of the Aussie locker or one of the others comparable. I've heard a lot of good things about the Aussie locker. I've heard a lot of good things about some of the others that I'm looking at, and they're all probably within about $40, $50 of each other. So I'm not going to be rock bouncing mine. I just want it to handle better in the snow and the ice and when I'm pulling somebody. This is not the same Jeep that my 94 Country was. It's a manual transmission. It's open diffs front and rear. The 94 was a limited slip in the back and it had ABS. This does not have ABS. And on the 94, when you put it in part-time four-wheel drive, it used the ABS for traction control on the front axle, so that thing was digging all four. Anything I hooked onto that thing I could pull. So anyhow, let me know if you'd be interested in seeing some of these other projects. I mean, none of it's going to be how-to. It's just what's keeping me busy during the day. I'm retired now. Filed for my Social Security. Got my second check already. This is just something I do to keep me busy. It helps out the school. It helps me out. Gives me something to do. Keeps me active. So, yeah. Interested to hear your thoughts on, whether or not you'd be interested in seeing some of the other stuff I do around here. I do occasionally do construction projects on campus. I'm not going to record those. Even if you beg. Ain't going to happen. But I would like to. I bought a whole bunch more Cobalt cordless stuff and a whole bunch of a whole bunch of Cobalt hand tools, and I'd like to do some reviews on those at some point. Stuff's doing good. I really like the overall quality and the price on it. It's not as cheap as Harbor Freight, but it's better quality. It's still a lifetime warranty, and it's closer to me than Harbor Freight. I'm 10 minutes from Lowe's. So anyhow, I'm going to wrap it up here. It's been almost 20 minutes. So I'm going to go look up the torque specs on that, torque down that head and intermediate plate, put the rest of it back together, and fire it up and see if we can run it without blowing another gasket. So thanks for sticking with me. Appreciate your time. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'm up to 80. Wow. This channel is blowing up, baby. Just kidding. I wish it would, but then I'd have to do more videos. So anyhow, stay well. Take care. God bless. See you. You'll see me in the next one.